Good evening, sports fans. Welcome to Rumble in the Rockies, a spectacular night of football right here in Red Deer, Alberta, under the iconic dome where the action heats up no matter the weather outside. Tonight, we have an incredible matchup featuring all-star teams from across British Columbia and Alberta, ready to put on a show of skill, speed, and grit. From small towns to big cities, these athletes bring the pride of their communities to the field. And for those looking to join the action in future events, Jermaine Brown and Travis Hertz invite you to take part in Rumble in the Rockies next season. Get ready for a high-octane game full of passion, power, and incredible plays. It's all happening right here. Let's kick this off. Here we are. Welcome to another fantastic edition of Off Topic. Your hosts, Tim and Matt, the show where we always go off topic. All right, Matt, the big news everybody's talking about today. Bill Belichick, 6-time Super Bowl champion head coach, going to the 6-6 University of North Carolina Tar Heels football program. What thought popped into your head the first time when this dropped?
I thought it was good for Bill. I really did. And good for UNC because Bill's a great coach. Little shocked that he wasn't going to go to the NFL, but I think his desire for control is not really in that NFL climate anymor.
No, he's 72 years old, right?
Exactly. So, but he nailed a 5-year, $50 million contract. $30 million, 3 years guaranteed.
I'm in the wrong business, man.
Annual bonuses of $3.5 million tied to final rank wins, ACC champions, college football playoff games.
Yeah.
So I mean, like he really signed a lucrative contract. He's 72 years old.
Yeah.
It'll be his last one.
Yeah.
You won't see him back in the NFL.
And there's talk of his son coming to coach with him.
Yes.
And when he bows out, the son will take over.
Yeah.
I mean, going back to the NFL thing, he took over the Patriots, so they were kind of a team a long time ago, and he was a lot younger, and he slowly, methodically, like Jimmy Johnson did with Dallas all those years ago, got lucky on a quarterback by his own acumen, but built a Super Bowl champion out of it. He's not doing that again. He's not going to take over, the Carolina Panthers or the Tennessee Titans and magically turn them into winners. Like, he just doesn't have those years on him. This is a little bit of a quicker thing.
Well, what you saw with him in New England was that he came in there at the right time where they were a mess.
With the right owner.
With the right owner who was willing to give him the reins because he had a vision.
Right.
And his vision, his plan went step by step by step, and everything he said was going to happen happened.
Yeah.
Right. So, and the Tom Brady part was great. He already had Drew Bledsoe though,
right,
who was a good quarterback in his own right.
He was a great quarterback.
And he was going to do it with Drew. Drew got hurt. Okay, we got to throw Tom in there. Oh, Tom's great.
Yeah.
And Tom just kept moving it forward.
Yeah.
They did exactly. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. He didn't take any guff from anybody. The owner gave him free rein to be able to do that.
Kept out of his way.
Let him do it because he said what he was going to do, went out and did it, had success.
Yeah.
Right? So you get these head coaches come in and they interview with a GM and an owner and they say, this is my plan. And they get out there and the plan stumbles and they yank them.
Yeah.
Right? They're so quick to trigger him. His plan stumbled at the beginning too, right? When he was the first couple of years he was there weren't great.
No.
But they stuck with him because he said, it's coming, just wait, right?
Yeah. Jimmy Johnson, when he first took over the Dallas Cowboys, they were a terrible team and they had 0 for seasons.
Yeah.
And that's how he was able to draft so many players, right?
Yeah.
But with college, you don't have to worry about a draft. So you don't have to worry about getting one top player on the top, the Heisman Trophy winner, for instance.
Yeah.
You're going to high school kids, and if there's 10 top high school kids from Texas to Florida, technically speaking, with the right coach and the right marketing team and whatever,
right,
you can get all 10.
Yeah.
Right? That's the difference. Now, realistically, the challenges of Bill Belichick in the new modern college system with NIL and the transfer portal is going to be very difficult, and that's the one knock. Is he going to be able to put up with all that off the field?
Well, and here's the thing is, we're in the entitlement era.
Yes.
So these guys are coming in, and they've been told, there's the schools down there, they got massive crowds. They've been told that the sun rises out of their posterior.
Yep.
And they're coming here, and Belichick's going to be a no-take-no-guff kind of guy.
Yeah.
So he's going to get rid of the head cases quickly and have the guys that want to play football, want to buy into a program, and want to play.
Yeah.
Right? And he's going to do well with what he's got. Is he going to have the national championship? Maybe not.
Well, let's look at success. And the best example is Coach Prime, Deion Sanders.
Yep.
Right? Did really well at Jacksonville State, came over to Colorado to the Buffs, was last year 9-3. They're not even ranked. They are ranked 25th, but they're not in the college football playoffs.
Yeah.
Right? 2 players probably should have gone for the Heisman debate. One made it.
Yeah.
And Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders. We'll talk about him in a minute. Shedeur Sanders, thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe could have been in there, but whatever. I don't really. It's not going to matter draft-wise. He's going to go in the top 5 anyway, so it makes no difference, that debate.
Yeah.
But all he has to do at UNC is in that first year just play better than he did the past 10 years.
Yep.
Right? When that starts happening, kids are going to start coming to him. A lot of kids remember Belichick, and they remember those Patriots ones. If they didn't, their dads do. Yeah. And they're just going to be, look, kid, you can go to LSU and you can go to other places and make all this NIL money if you like. But if you want to make it to the NFL, and if you want to be the best football player you can be, this is the guy.
Yeah.
This is the guy. Don't worry about any of that other stuff. He's going to turn you into a top college football player with a real shot of getting to the NFL. Because there's hundreds of kids eligible for the draft every year, and about 120 or whatever the hell it is go. So get drafted, and fewer of those actually make it, and fewer of those actually have more than 2 or 3 years in the league. So that's the big thing. And as far as drafting kids or recruiting kids, they have assistant coaches. I mean, it's a big business, right? They got scouts.
Yeah.
He'll meet 1 or 2 of the top kids. He'll meet them on the very first day. Yeah. With the first meetings when they all get them there. But the assistant coaches are going to go out. The scouts are going to go out. They're going to meet all the kids and a lot of them are going to come to him too.
Yep.
So we'll see. I'm sure there's a lot of really good unsung heroes on the O&D lines and a lot of colleges across the U.S. right now that cannot stand playing with these NIL kids.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm willing to bet there's fuck, just focus on the game. Stop. Enough. We got a game. Enough of these stupid videos. And if you go to Belichick, he's going to be the exact same way, and you're going to be, oh, thank God. So you don't go anywhere without an O-line and a D-line. You don't hear about those guys, but I'm willing to bet.
You get the social media is just it's one of those things where it's here to stay, and there's going to be positives about it. There's going to be negatives about it. So
I mean that's his knock, but they can work around that. I think it's going to be exciting. No one watches UNC games outside of North Carolina for the Tar Heels for football, and they're going to get national exposure now.
Yeah,
so 100%. It's really good.
Yeah. So sticking with college football, Heisman debate.
The Heisman debate. So Shedeur Sanders had a very, very good season and did not get picked, but Dylan Gabriel, with the Oregon Ducks had a slightly less than good season, but did get picked. So the difference here is win-loss.
Yeah.
There's 2 things going on. A, there's already 1 Colorado Buffalo and Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're going to go for 2. And the second thing is win-loss. So Oregon Ducks are undefeated, 12-0, number 1 in the country. Colorado is 9-3, number 25 in the country. I mean, that's the difference right there.
Well, but you got to look at this as well. Okay, Travis Hunter, Ashton Genty, and Cam Ward are taking up 99.7% of the betting for Heisman.
Yeah.
Dylan Gabriel is like, well, who else should we put in there as the 4th?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Shedeur Sanders, great, 3,900 yards, 35 TDs. Guess what? Jameis Winston is throwing for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns for the Browns and losing.
Yeah.
So if you're not a winning team, that's what football's about. It's not about your stats.
Right.
And too many people get locked up on those two stats right there. Right. Throw those win-loss up there. That's why he's there.
Yeah.
Right. His leadership. What's their running game like in Oregon?
It's good.
Right. So
I've been watching a few Oregon games, and I did see the one game live. We talked about, we had the clips up there, and I can only describe them as a complete team.
Yeah.
There's the odd star. I mean, obviously, Dylan Gabriel's going to be the star. He's the quarterback, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, that is a complete, well-balanced team. Colorado, you have a couple of stars in Shedeur and Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
And I watched, again, I go back to the Nebraska game where they got it handed to him. He's had some bad games.
Yeah.
Dylan Gabriel hasn't.
Yeah.
And like you said, you needed a fourth.
Look at the full body of work.
Yeah.
And I hate pictures like this. I scroll right past them when I'm on Facebook, right? Because you're cherry picking two stats that one's got better and the one's got worse, but that's not their whole body of work.
No.
And the whole body of work for Dylan Gabriel this year, and I think Oregon's favorites. Yeah. One of the favorite teams.
Well, they're number one. They're the only undefeated team in college football.
So that's how that works.
Yeah, and Dylan Gabriel's not going to win it anyway, so who cares?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and Shedeur Sander is going to get drafted probably by either the Jets or the Giants because they desperately need a quarterback, and Cam Ward's the other quarterback that's up there.
Yep.
And so who the hell cares? Because he's going to sign a multi-million-dollar contract whether he wins it or not.
Yeah.
And he's already a millionaire. The kid drives a Bentley, for God's sakes. So who cares? You know what I mean? It's just a bunch of who cares.
Yeah.
And individual awards. I mean, how many Heisman Trophy winners have won it and gone nowhere? Like dozens.
Dozens.
So who cares? I mean,
and do you remember who won it last year?
Yeah, it's Jaden Daniels.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Was it the year before?
It's not. Oh God, I know who it is.
I don't know.
It's not Bengals. Bengals guy.
No, that was more years. Burrows.
That
was more years before that.
Yeah. What is the year before? I can't remember. Yeah, you're right.
But you know who I think out of all of these guys that is going to have a great NFL career, and he's going to come in second to Travis Hunter is Ashton Genty.
Yeah.
Second consecutive Mountain West Offensive Player of the Year, all Mountain West first team honors. His rushing total is the second highest in FBS regular season history, trailing only Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you even said it though. We talked about it at the All-Star game last weekend. Their shelf life isn't that great.
Yeah, that's going to be the problem.
So he probably won't go second.
No.
There's a few. If you look at the mock drafts, I mean, it's mock draft, right? So I mean, there's a lot of talk. Like some teams are going to finish pretty poorly, and they already have a quarterback in their offense, but they need an O lineman, or their defense sucks, and they're going to go for the big D lineman, right? NFL, you have to go with your need.
Yeah,
like you just have to go with your need. Like if you already have a quarterback, you're not draft. You got Trey Williams in Tennessee. You're not going to go with another quarterback. Like it doesn't make any sense.
20 and up. Like when you're picking above 20, you're looking at who's the best available player. How does he fit in what we need?
Yeah.
In 1 to 10, you're filling needs.
Yeah.
And that's quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And this is a quarterback full draft.
Yeah.
So I think, Travis Hunter may not go in the top 5.
No.
Because
he's going to need a wide receiver.
He's a wide receiver cornerback. So that's not a huge need in the top 5. He's a great game-changing athlete. There's a few teams that are just having rough years, like the Rams that'll be down there maybe, or the 49ers might be down there and be like, we'll grab him because they do have all their basic needs covered, just a lot of injuries this year.
Yeah.
So I can see something like that, more so than the Giants, the Jets, Carolina, Jets. The teams that are going to be in the top 5 are teams that are screaming for a quarterback.
Yeah.
So
at least 2 of them, right?
2 or 3 anyways.
I'm trying to figure out if Dallas is up there. They need a quarterback.
Yeah. Now you got to start thinking of the future because
who else needs? I'm trying to think who the worst teams in the league are. Las Vegas.
Yeah.
They need a quarterback.
So rolling right into our next off topic, armchair GM NFL.
Okay, so I got a theory.
Yeah. Oh, good.
I got a theory. So Seahawks are having a really good season. Started off slow.
Yeah.
And they're really picking it up. They got Kevin McDonald is their head coach.
Yeah.
So his system's coming into fruition, and they're starting to win. Mike McDonald? I can't remember. You know who he is. Whatever.
McDonald.
His system is coming into fruition, and it's starting to play, and they're doing really well. And Geno Smith is their quarterback. And Geno Smith hit the weights last year, put a bunch of weight on, so he's taking a lot more hits, and he's still getting the ball off, and he's playing the best football of his career, because up until he became the head starting quarterback in Seattle, a lot of people hadn't even heard of him.
Yeah.
The only knock on Geno Smith is that he's 34 years old.
Yes.
He's got a few years left. There's not too many guys like Tom Brady and Joe Flacco that can play to 41. Right? So here's my bet. Minnesota is having a banger season at, what are they, 11-2?
Yep.
Sam Darnold is their quarterback right now, and he's lights out. He paid his dues in the league. He was an assistant. He was supposed to be the all-in for whatever team he was with
Jets,
before.
and then he was a backup.
Backup, and then he goes to Minnesota, and he's just lighting it up. Sitting on the sideline in a headset and holding a clipboard is J.J. McCarthy.
Okay, but let's be honest here too. J.J. McCarthy's also sitting in a knee brace with crutches.
Did he get hurt? He got hurt.
Yes. Preseason he got hurt.
Yes.
So he's their future. He ain't going anywhere.
You think so?
Oh yeah,
Sam Darnold's 27 years old.
Yeah,
he's 27 years old. He's got at least, judging by against Geno Smith, 7 more good years left in him before the Father Time starts beating him with the ugly stick.
Okay, granted, but Sam Darnold isn't winning any game management debates here. He is out throwing to good receivers.
Oh yeah,
and they got a good run game. You lose Justin Jefferson, he's going to hurt. It's going to be hurting there, right? Jordan Addison, it's going to be hurting there. As soon as they can sort of, they've got 3 threats right now throwing to: Hawkinson, Addison, Jefferson.
Okay, and
then they got Aaron Jones running the ball.
Right.
Their offense is clicking.
Yes.
Right? And this is the best place to drop in a guy that's on, and Darnold's filling the hole right now because no big contract expectations.
Right.
The low contract. But then they got the rookie, who they've got for 4 more years after this year, where he's hurt, right? 4 years at entry-level wages.
Okay.
Right? They're not spending that money because all their money is going to the rest of the offense.
Okay.
So, do they trade him?
One of them?
One of them? Maybe.
One of them? If I'm Seattle, I'm looking at Geno Smith, and I'm going to say, Geno, how many more years do you want to play? Honestly, if you had to pick a number, how many more years do you have left in you? Yeah. And then you say, look, dude, we need something to step in as soon as you're ready to step down. And if they can get Sam Darnold or J.J. McCarthy in a big trade and have the future, something in the wings to step in after Geno's done, because finding a good quarterback, that's San Francisco, man, between, Joe Montana, Steve Young, and Brock Purdy. It can be a long, lonely road, my friend.
Oh, I do agree. And McCarthy hasn't played a game yet.
No.
So before anybody's going to do anything like that, they're going to want to see McCarthy play.
Yeah.
Right. And he got hurt in his first preseason. Yeah. Right. So in the first training camp. So I'm not sure. I'm going to Google it here because I'm not sure what Sam Darnold's contract is.
Okay.
But it's probably only a year or two.
That's just sitting at home on my couch last week playing armchair GM.
Yeah.
That's the thought. Because I was at work and I'm driving home, who drafted J.J. McCarthy? I can't even remember. And then I'm like, oh, Minnesota. Oh, Sam Darnold. So it's like they almost have too many quarterbacks.
1 year, $10 million contract.
Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold. His stats right now. So whoever misses out on the lottery, the quarterback lottery here, right, is going to sign him.
Okay.
At a price that Minnesota's not going to be able to match.
No.
So, and if you're smart, right, your armchair quarterback's not too far off. You're getting better at this, Tim. I like it. Seattle would grab him.
Yeah.
Right? Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? They've got the receivers. They've got the run game to support him. They got the O-line.
You just have to be nice to Geno Smith. Yeah, go to Geno's house in the office. You sit him down. Yeah. Say, dude, you're our starting quarterback for now, but here's our plan.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, Geno, you're not playing forever, right?
And what's the out on Geno's contract? Because he just signed a 3-year contract last year, but I think only 1 or 2 years was guaranteed. So they may have an out after next year with his contract.
Yeah.
So, I don't see them giving up on McCarthy without McCarthy starting to play.
Right.
They're really high on McCarthy.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So who else you got there? Dylan?
well, there's a couple of college kids that aren't going to be in the top 10.
Yes.
Or even the first round. Dylan Raiola, who I've become a Nebraska and Cornhusker fan. I don't know how many games. I love watching them play. They haven't had a good season this year. I think they're at a losing record.
Yeah.
But he's actually pretty good. They're a good team, and they're just losing out to better teams.
Yeah.
And Nebraska is a storied franchise that's kind of the poor cousin of the storied franchise. They can't get the top kids, the NLL kids. I mean, hey, do I want to go to Lincoln, Nebraska, or do I want to go to, Louisiana, or do I want to go to Florida? It's a little bit tough, right? But he's just solid. I've watched a few games. He's solid. Riley Leonard is the starting quarterback in Notre Dame right now, which is having a lights-out season. And they're all fourth-year guys.
Yeah.
And they've all been playing for 4 years. They're 22, 23 years old. So you're not getting some, 2-year, 19-year-old kid type of thing. They've got some years underneath them, and they've played a few years. And so the Seahawks in the second or third round could easily get one of these guys. And I think San Francisco needs to try and get Ashton Genty because their backfield is just...
Who's that, San Fran?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he'll be gone by then.
I see, and he's looking... So I just pulled up a quick mock draft.
Yeah.
So you look at Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward, 1-2.
Yeah.
Raiders, Giants, both need it.
Boom.
Travis Hunter going to
Patriots,
not a bad idea.
That would work.
Drake May's looking good there.
Yeah.
Right? Mason Graham with Carolina. Yep, Carolina's going to pop up on the defense. Jacksonville.
Defense, yeah.
This McMillan is supposed to be just unbelievable.
Wide receiver.
Yeah. So you don't see Genty going to the Bengals at 10.
Yeah.
Right?
San Francisco's picking before.
Right now they're 13, right? Yeah. So they might not last to
but
their...
the Bengals, though, who's the big player there?
Chase Brown.
Yeah.
They got Chase Brown right now. And he's actually turning it on. So, I don't know if I 100% agree with this. And it's way too early for mock drafts.
Yeah, it's total mock draft.
Right.
But look at this. San Francisco their offense is a triangle, right?
Yeah.
So one side of the triangle, you got Brock Purdy, pick whatever side you want. The other side is George Kittle. Yeah. And the other side's Christian McCaffrey, CMC.
Yeah.
And the problem is when one of those goes down, the triangle collapses.
Yeah.
Right? You talk about the systems quarterback debate, Brock Purdy, whatever, I don't care. But the three of them together made it to the Super Bowl and pushed the Chiefs to overtime.
Yep.
To lose. Right? That's pretty good. They didn't get their ass handed to them. They fought to the bitter end in overtime.
Yep.
But injury-wise on tailbacks, it's CMC's he's going to need a lot of rehab to come back.
Well,
the PCL went, and he's had the tendonitis thing, and right. So they need. And Mason was having a really good season. Then he got hurt, but he's not the leader that CMC is. No. CMC is super dynamic, and he's a leader alongside George Kittle and Brock Purdy. So they need someone as dynamic as an Ashton Genty to step in their backfield and really help light things up to keep them going.
The flaws of Brock Purdy show when you don't have the CMC threat there. Mm-hmm. CMC, you had to account for him, not just on run, but on pass. So even when he didn't get the ball, you still had to throw three guys on him. Yeah. Right? So
and that block and
Yeah. They may start questioning the Brock Purdy before his rookie contract's up.
Yeah.
And they made it to the Super Bowl. You got Deebo Samuels. You got Brandon Ayuk, who's hurt this year. Yeah. Deebo Samuels, who hasn't been 100%. Kittle's been out a few times. Brock Purdy's been out. Yeah. You bring all of them back next year healthy, right? And they shoot right back up.
Fingers crossed.
So looking at it, here they say they got them even further down in this one here. Yeah. But they're saying they're going to look at defense. Yeah. And this is a defensive draft. A lot of the top guys out there are going to be defensive players. Right. I see that, this one here I like a bit better because it's got Travis Hunter going to New England at 3. Right. This is a New England player through and through. Right. He play corner, he play receiver. Right. He fills a bunch of holes for them. They got a bunch of holes. Yeah. Drake May's looking good, right? Looking really good. And looking like the guy they're going to want him to be, and they give him a weapon like that can be utilized on defense as well. I think that's a great idea.
There's some talk too that San Francisco's actually going to go for no lineman
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which they would. I mean, their defense when it's healthy is like fantastic.
That's another guy, Trent Williams, superstar left tackle.
Yeah.
Been hurt most of the year.
Yeah.
Off and on, off
Nick
and on.
Bosa.
Yeah.
So but they're gonna get some like unsexy O linemen to help protect Brock Purdy and open up the holes for the tailbacks, right?
So, all right.
Now, one more quick thing I want to say. I watched Iowa against Nebraska and the Hawkeyes. This is the name I want everybody to write down for next year. Max Llewellyn, number 58, 6'5", 258-pound defensive lineman pass rusher. Holy smokes, is that kid fast. He was in that backfield against Nebraska the whole game and just big and mobile and just fast. So Max Llewellyn, let's write that down.
Okay.
And next year's draft, he's a junior, so he's going to be senior next year.
Gotcha.
And let's just keep an eye open. Yeah. Player to watch.
All right.
Okay.
Last thing about football is referees.
Yes.
Right?
So we need referees for the
LMFRA.
Lower Mainland
Football
Referee Association.
And hey, these guys are great. I've been working with these guys for almost 20 years now. Tons of respect for them. They do a great job on the field. We can't have football without them. If you love football, you love helping the kids out.
And this is community too, right?
It's community football. Yeah. It's fun.
It's very
right?
fun.
Make a few bucks, throw flags, be a big bully, be a referee. And remember, if you and the referee disagree, you're wrong. The referee's right.
There you go.
End of story.
And you keep pissing off the referee, suddenly those flags start coming a little bit quicker.
You'll see how wrong you were.
Okay. Local news: the Whitecaps
up for sale. Fired the head coach, sent the head coach packing, and put the for sale sign on.
And the team is reported to be going for $500,000 US.
No.
Which I'm sort of surprised.
Half a billion.
$500 million, sorry.
$500,000.
Half
I'd
a billion.
myself for that price right now.
That's more than the BC Lions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's $500 million is supposedly the price tag US. The fear is, though, if they do sell, do they leave Vancouver? And Whitecaps, I mean, I'm 53 years old, and I remember the Whitecaps just being here my whole life.
Tom Leonarducci.
Yeah, Tom Leonarducci.
Ever. Just played at, what's the stadium on, right on?
Exhibition.
No, Kingsway and Broadway.
I know exactly what you're talking
in the park.
Yeah.
Central Park in Burnaby. Named after somebody. Whatever. They played there for a long time.
Yeah.
MLS,
Boundary, not Broadway. Boundary.
Yeah, Boundary.
Yeah.
MLS is really taken off.
Yeah.
Part of the problem with Vancouver is, you have Miami with David Beckham in charge and calls up his buddy, why can't I remember anybody's names in the pink jerseys? From Argentina. Played for Barcelona forever.
Maradona? No. Yeah. Anyways, go on.
You get these marquee players.
Yep.
I got to find it's going to drive Miami. Enter Miami. Hang on. Why do I can't enter?
I don't watch a lot of soccer.
I don't either.
I'm not a big soccer guy. I watch Ted Lasso. That's about my only interest in soccer. But you over here, it's starting to get bigger and bigger.
It is.
And what I can see happening is somebody buying the Whitecaps and moving them. Yeah. And which would be horrible. It would be nice to see someone local interested, like the Aquilini Group or whatnot.
Lionel Messi.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, no, it'd be nice to the Aquilina Group.
But it's a fear. It's a fear. We had the NBA for a little bit. It left. The only constant we have are the Canucks.
Yeah.
So
Canucks.
I'm going to the game tonight. I'm going to the Canucks Boston Bruins game tonight.
Well, that's too bad about the Bruins. Anyway. I mean, sports is just awful. I mean, the Rams have moved, 4 times?
Yeah.
The Vegas, the Raiders moved about 4 times. Golden State Warriors were the worst team in the league forever up in Oakland, and the fans were there in droves, game in and game out. Suddenly they got successful. Now they're in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Like this stuff happens. It makes me sick to my stomach, but it's just part of the whole thing. And so I hope they don't move. I've never seen a game myself. I'm not a huge soccer fan.
Yeah.
But they mean a lot to the people here. And they do get really good crowds for, MLS soccer in non-soccer territory. So
Yeah.
what do you do?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Now we're on to
NHL. My
NHL.
Montreal Canadiens.
Oh,
My Montreal, this is the greatest picture I've ever seen for hockey in my life. I absolutely love this picture. The little guy there is Cole Caulfield, number 13. He's 5'7" and leading the lead in goals. He's got 17 goals in like 25 games. The big guy is Patrick Laine.
yeah.
Now, Montreal has not had a proper dynamic scoring winger since Guy Lafleur. And they made a trade, and they got Patrick Laine in the offseason, and he gets knee-on-knee contact, and he's out for 3 months or whatever it was before the league regular season even started.
Yeah.
So beginning of December, he comes back, and his first game back in the Bell Center, his very first game, he scores the first game, and this is the celebration afterwards. And there's two things going on. Cole Caulfield, he's so cute. The unbridled joy of your teammate. I doubt they even know each other because one's Finnish, one's American.
Yeah.
It's not like they played together in junior or high school.
No.
And he's so happy for him. And on the other one, Patrick Laine, he's looking kind of freaked out because the Bell Center crowd went crazy when he scored the goal. And they asked him afterwards, what do you think about the reception? He was like, I couldn't figure out what was going on.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are they cheering so much? Because he only ever played in Winnipeg and Columbus.
Yeah.
And you just don't get the same kind of passion, right? And he took him a couple of seconds, like, is that for me? Like, he just...
And that's Canadians hockey for you.
Oh, yeah.
They love their hockey out there.
And look at that. That photo is the best photo. I want that on... Like, they should send that out in Christmas cards, man. It's so cute.
Yeah. It's passion right there. That's for sure.
It is. And they're still losing. But I'll tell you, here's something I saw the other day. That game, the beginning of December, was the first game in the 3 years Marty St. Lee's been head coach where they've had no one on the DL. He had a full roster for the first time in 3 years. That's how hard they've been hit with injuries, right?
Yeah.
They're not winning. Well, they're winning a few more games, and they got pounded 9-2 by Pittsburgh the other day. But they're beating the lower teams. So there's a little bit of an improvement there, and they've got a long way to go. And there's a few little islands inside the storm. Liney's back, and he's almost at a point per game.
Yeah.
Caulfield leads the league goals. And Laine Houghton, who was this 5'9" mobile defenseman they picked up in the second or third round years ago from Boston College, has as many points as what's-his-face in Toronto with a stash.
Austin Matthews.
Austin Matthews.
Yeah.
So a 5'9", 5'10" defenseman has as many points as Austin Matthews in Toronto.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of things going on in Montreal that are good, but they're just not putting the whole team together, and that's why they're still losing. They're still in the bottom of the league. But hopefully they'll. I thought they were going to compete for a playoff spot. I didn't think they were going to make the playoffs this year.
They're giving up more. So one of the things I always look at when I look at stats for hockey is goal differential.
Yeah,
right.
That's the problem there.
And their differential is -29. It's the worst in the league.
Yeah.
So they're
mediocre goaltending and a really young defense. So.
Yeah. So, but you're right. They're not the worst in the league.
No.
They're not going to get the first pick again this year.
No. I don't want them to. I want them to start doing well. Like I'm done with the picks.
They're at the bottom of the East there. But if you look at it, like in the West, you got Nashville, who was in the playoffs last year, is out of it. Chicago,
yeah,
and then Anaheim,
San Jose.
They're all around the same, down to that bottom end type thing, right? But one of the things I've noticed about hockey, and mostly just because I'm in a hockey pool this year, is there's been some big scoring games.
Yeah.
And from teams you wouldn't expect. Like I saw San Jose drop 8 points on somebody.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's exciting.
It is. But I'm going tonight. I'm hoping it's a good game tonight.
All right. Sweet.
Yeah.
Go Canucks. MLB.
Soto.
Okay, so the Dodgers are killing me. We can talk Soto. Let's talk Soto first. So Juan Soto turned down like a 3-year, $450 million contract from, I think, the Washington Nationals.
Yeah.
And that's why he went to San Diego. And then New York picked him up. And now he's going to the Mets.
Yes.
And he's getting, what's the contract?
$650 or something.
$700 million over 15 years or something,
over 15
right?
years. It's bigger than Shohei's.
Yeah.
in total dollars, but it's a longer term.
Condensed,
And there's no deferral.
Yeah.
He was very adamant on no deferral.
Yeah.
But I think they're out after like 5 years or something too.
So
Here's the problem. Here's the problem is the Mets are going to go all in and not win anything in the next 2 or 3 years.
Because of the Mets.
Because of the Mets. and then start having to get rid of everybody because they don't have any money anymore.
Yeah.
So Soto was a big bat, right? And he's a unique personality. He's
a little
really
bit of a one-trick pony.
That's it. And his defense is horrible.
Yeah.
He's not a very good defensive player. So he had to go somewhere where he could be a DH most of the time.
Right.
And he's going to fit in with the Mets. And let's remember the Mets did have a good team this year.
Yeah.
He's going to make them better, but is it going to be good enough?
Yeah, I don't know.
So
one commentator who's a Yankees fan who was kind of choked that he left made a really good point. The Mets are fun to watch.
yeah.
They're the lovable losers. They got Pete Alonso, they got Juan Soto now. They got some dynamic players. They're sort of fun to watch.
Yeah.
And the Yankees are just this corporate team. Like, they're not fun anymore. Like, they're too corporate. You can't have beards. You still can't have beards.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. Like, the 90s are over.
Yeah.
Like, get rid of all this crap and get some personality on the team. They're not robots, right?
And that's it's like the evil empire from Star Wars,
Yeah,
right?
you know?
And that's where the Yankees always come out like the stormtroopers, and I get it. But if that's and I think it fits them. I think they play the villain of the Major League season very well.
The Bronx Bombers, man.
If you either are with them or you hate them.
Yeah.
It's one or the other. There's no in between. Like the Padres are like, hey, the Padres are the cute little brown guys, the brown uniforms down in San Diego where it's nice to go.
I'm walking away from that one, man. The Dodgers, like a lot of people like the Dodgers. People in New York like the Dodgers. LA, I've always enjoyed watching Dodger baseball.
But Dodger, because you're sunny, happy time in Dodgerland,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
Like they're just such a fun team, and they do neat little things all over the place. And
They got the beautiful stadium and the California sunshine and the night games. And
incorporated with Disney, like hand in hand with Disney, so kids love it. And then you got San Fran, you got the Giants up there. Who are their only goal in life is to beat the Dodgers.
Yeah,
they don't care if they win a World Series. If they beat the Dodgers, they're happy.
And they lost Blake Snell to the Dodgers. Like, oh man.
And Conforto.
Yeah,
the two of them.
Well, the thing is that the Giants had their time.
Yeah.
And now they're rebuilding, and Blake Snell was supposed to be a part of that, but of course injuries hit them and it didn't work.
Yeah.
But they got Buster Posey, who was their catcher forever and was their on-field, off-field leader in the front office.
Yes.
Which is a really savvy move.
Yeah.
So he's like assistant GM or in charge of player development or something like that. So it's a matter of time before the Giants really start becoming competitive.
Well, they're not. It's not that they're not competitive. The Giants always put on a solid team. I think very highly of the Giants as an organization. Right. The thing that cracks me up is the hatred for the Dodgers from the Padres, the Angels, or even in the American League, and the Giants.
Yeah.
None of them will trade or work with the Dodgers at all.
No.
And here's the last 2 years. Angels could have traded Shohei.
Yeah.
Right? They could have traded Shohei, got a ton for him, right? But it was only going to go to the Dodgers. And they won't trade with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So instead of getting a refusal to trade with them, he's at the Dodgers. It didn't cost him anything.
Yeah, I know.
And then this year, Snell and Conforto should have been traded at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Dodgers made offers on both of them, and they
Now they
wouldn't
get
trade
nothing.
them, and now they get nothing for them.
Yeah.
And that kind of blindness, it really limits teams.
Yeah.
Right? Because the Dodgers are the spenders.
Yeah.
Right? If you want your best buck, you go to the Yankees, you go to the Dodgers. Sometimes the Red Sox, right? If you got some trash you want to get rid of, you send it to Canada, to the Blue Jays. But,
Which brings us to our next.
So our next one is the big news coming out of, and the thing that we're going to be watching is going to be Roki Sasaki. He is a phenom pitcher from Japan.
Looks like he's about 12 in that photo.
That's coming to the Dodgers. I mean, Major League Baseball. He's entered. He's already put himself in. The nice thing about this is he's so young that they can't give him monster contracts.
Yeah.
So he's going to go somewhere where he wants to play. So they gotta woo him.
Right.
I just read something today that it was in L.A. throwing a bullpen at one of the schools there for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
When
you already have Shohei, you
Yeah.
can get more Japanese talent, right?
Yes.
It's a little bit easier. The Jays would need him, but you're not going to go to Toronto because they can't even make it in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the only problem with LA is their pitching staff's getting older and banged up.
Yes.
So there's a real hole and a real chance for this kid. Toronto, I mean, they traded for some second baseman with Cleveland.
Yeah.
He's a Gold Glove winner who hits 250. Oh, maybe he can turn his offense around with Toronto. No, he's not. Because they hang on to guys that hit 250, and Kyle Tucker just went to the Cubs.
Yeah.
And, we're stuck with, what the hell, George Springer, who hits 250, and they don't make a move for Kyle Tucker with offense, who's 27 years old. They go for the Jimenez guy, who's a second baseman. And it's just like, you guys suck. I'm so done. And they're number 8. They got the number 8 spot in the draft. Which doesn't matter because they're going to trade that guy for some other guy in, a year. So who cares who they pick? And it's just like, I hate you so much.
Here we are in December talking about how bad the Jays suck.
Oh, it's just awful. It's just.
Well, and everybody's like, okay, so World Series was in November.
Right.
The owners' meetings were just last week in Florida.
That's why we're talking, yeah.
A couple little signings are happening here and there. Like Blake Snell was a big signing, yeah, okay. Right? But for the most part, and Soto was a big signing.
Yeah.
Things aren't going to start happening until January. This kid's not going to sign until January.
No.
And it's good. He's doing the tour right now, talking to everybody. Yu Darvish is down in San Diego, and he actually was one of the mentors for the WBC for this kid.
Okay.
In Japan. For
Oh, okay.
the Japanese team.
You go to San Diego, Yu Darvish.
Right.
Right.
So he's in a very good position right now where he's limited on what his earnings are going to be. So he might as well.
Language, culture. So if you have a Japanese player that can mentor him.
Yeah.
They can room together and he can speak Japanese when he's struggling in English at 17 years old.
But he's also, so Yu Darvish was one of his mentors there. He's got a picture of Shohei Ohtani up in his bedroom.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think this is going to be one of the two places that he ends up. It's going to be on the West Coast, which is easier to get to Japan from the West Coast than the East Coast. Direct flights. Shohei bought a small island in Hawaii. So
of course he did.
Of
course he owns an island in Hawaii.
When he wants to see family, he flies them from Japan to Hawaii. He flies to Hawaii. They meet in the middle, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna. So I don't know if there's a big deal. Like one's like Twins aim to meet with them. Guessing how Blue Jays pitch Sasaki in Toronto. I don't know how you pitch him in Toronto. No. I mean, you want to be the most difficult place to get to Japan, come to Toronto. Yeah. Right? So, it'll be interesting. Nothing's really going to happen until the new year.
Yeah. Don't forget, he's 17.
Yeah.
So I'm 17 years old. I'm probably leaving home for reals for the very first time.
Yeah.
It's far, far away. In Japan,
he's 23.
23. Oh, 23, okay. He looks like he's 15. So he's 23 years old. He's a kid.
Yeah.
And you want to go someplace where at least one guy in the team speaks Japanese.
Yeah.
He's a kid, right?
Well,
so
and because of Shohei, and Yu Darvish was in LA for a while too, right? And he didn't do great, and he left. And but Shohei mania is going on right now, and Japan is going on right now. So this kid's like, everybody's like, go to LA. If you're going there, go to LA. That's the place to be. That's where all the fans are going to come to cheer you on. Right? He doesn't look like the rebel type where I'm going to go strike out on my own in Kansas City, right? Or send me to Minnesota.
Well, the Twins are competitive. The Twins aren't a bad organization.
Oh, no, not at all.
But it's just like you're in the American Midwest, and it's like 14 connecting flights.
Mm-hmm.
You got to connect flights to LA, and then you got to, Like
Yeah.
you said, it's just a straight line.
Yeah.
Tokyo, L.A. Okay.
We don't complain about the Jays more. That's next on the
No,
list.
there's nothing. What are you going to say? They're weak. They're soft. They're God. So bad.
All right. So one other thing we got up here is
Caitlyn
Caitlyn Clarke.
Favorite person to
Talking
talk
about her again. You know what? I just really impressed with this young lady. She's very impressive.
Time Magazine photo. Bring up the Time
Athlete
Magazine.
of the year.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Absolutely no kidding.
And one of the things that she said is that she's been working out, she's been hitting the weights because she doesn't want to get pushed around out on the floor, right? And it shows. Like, it absolutely shows. This will probably send Antonio Brown over the edge because he was teetering on it anyways. But here's something that I just looking this up and Mystics co-owner. So the Washington Mystics is one of the teams in the WNBA. Co-owner Sheila Johnson criticizes Time's decision to name Caitlyn Clarke Athlete of the Year, and her whole point, and this is what bugs me, is that we have so much talent out there that has been unrecognized, and I don't think we can pin it on one player. Great, that's a good comment, right?
Fair enough.
And then when asked why Clarke was getting most of the credit for the NBA's growth in 2024, Johnson points out the way the media portrays race in sports. Okay, now you lost me.
Yeah.
Now you lost me.
Yeah.
Race in sports, it's dominated by African American.
Yeah.
And they're phenomenal athletes, right? So you have this person Caitlyn Clarke, come in and play in a dominated sport and do well. But now she's only getting attention because of her race?
No. That's a stupid comment.
She's
an outstanding player. Everybody, all the celebrities showed up to watch her play.
Yeah.
People show up to watch her play.
Yeah.
The TV viewership is 11 million people. It's in the double digits in the millions. And it's because there's before Caitlyn Clarke and there's after Caitlyn Clarke. And quite frankly, who cares? Because if I'm the Mystics owner and Caitlyn Clarke comes to town, I'm going to sell out.
Yeah.
I'm going to sell out.
Yeah.
I watched the Glorious Bastards of Baseball a few years ago, right? Brilliant documentary on a minor league team. Kurt Russell's dad, Bing Russell, buys this minor league team in Portland, Oregon, and he has an open tryout for anybody who wants to play lower A ball. 600 guys show up with a dream of just playing professional ball, and they start winning games.
Yeah.
And they're winning all these games, and they had all these ringers they brought in, and they're talking to the commissioner of the league at the time, and all the owners are complaining to him, this isn't fair, he stacked his team, blah, blah, blah. And he looks them in the eye, it's like, they sell out. You sell out every single time they come to town.
Yeah.
You never sell out.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting sellouts across the league. What are you complaining about? People are coming to games. Caitlyn Clarke puts bums in the seats. Who the hell cares? What the hell I don't care if she's like from Mars. You get people in, like where you were complaining about Michael Jordan in the 80s.
Yeah.
Coming to Charlotte with 0 wins and Minnesota with 0 wins. No, because people showed up. The Raptors hold the single season attendance record for an NBA game because Michael Jordan showed up. They're playing at Skydome and they had to put extra seats in.
Yeah.
That's how it works. She's making people show up and win or show up to the games. Stop complaining. We love Caitlyn Clarke.
Well, and this is what I find funny is she's 6 foot even, 150 pounds. Right? The majority of these players here in the WNBA are 6'5" and higher.
Oh yeah, Cameron Brink's 6'4".
Yeah, and 190 pounds because they're muscular, right? And if anything that she's getting all this attention is she's succeeding because of her stature, not the color of her skin.
No, she's backing up the hype with the play.
100%. She showed up there and she just
And they didn't make it to the playoffs because there weren't a good teams. That means more help was on the way in the draft.
Yeah.
And then the Pacers are going to be Indiana is going to be they're going to be an unstoppable force in women's basketball pretty soon. So.
Well, yeah, because they weren't horrible last year. It just took a while for them to get some chemistry.
Right.
And I think
just a matter of time.
And I think because she's gotten all this hype. There was a lot of bitterness when she came onto the team.
Yeah.
And when they started realizing that, she is who they say she is, they started to roll because the end of the year they looked a lot better than the beginning of the year.
So, it just takes time. I mean, Jordan showed up in Chicago and it still took a few seasons to win. It takes time. You don't win overnight. So All right. So we wrapping up. What are we doing? What's next?
I think
Covered it all, man. Got it all in there.
I mean, we had a lot on the slate. I think we might have moved fast through it. But
nobody mentioned Keira Knightley.
So, and it was funny because I'm on Facebook and Tim pops up and he's always got these great posts. So there she is. What a beautiful young lady.
She's very pretty, and I'm willing to bet she's a wonderful person.
Yeah.
I have nothing against her as a human being at all. My problem is people adore this woman. She gets $7 million per for whatever acting role she gets, and she cannot act to save her life. She's just terrible. She's a bad actor. Wonderful person, gorgeous young woman, or woman, she's probably in her 30s now. I don't get it. It just drives me nuts. She's everywhere, like all the time.
And her breakout role, you got to go back years here.
Love Actually.
Even before that.
Okay.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
No.
Was Love Actually before that?
Yes. I'm pretty sure. She was 17 in...
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but Pirates of the Caribbean, like Love Actually, you've seen it.
It's a Christmas thing.
Yeah.
Comes out every year.
Exactly. But then she went in Pirates of the Caribbean, Disney, Pirates of the Caribbean, huge film, and she was a kick-ass, refused to be kept in the box, up with Johnny Depp. Her acting
Johnny
chops
Depp can't act either. Like Johnny Depp. I don't even like Johnny Depp. Like I never saw them. He's like, he's pretending to be, Rolling Stones guy and
Mick Jagger,
Keith Richards.
Yeah,
he's doing like a Keith Richards. Really, it's like it's after a Disney ride. Who makes a movie based on a Disney ride? No, I'm not watching this.
You've never watched Pirates of the Caribbean?
No.
Why? What is wrong with you?
Nothing. I have taste movies. God, they're terrible.
Do you not like being entertained? I tell you, okay. Pirates of the Caribbean came out. We didn't get a chance to see it in the theater. And one of the kids grabbed me the DVD because that's how far back it was. For Christmas, right? So I got this DVD for Christmas. I'm like, hey, let's throw it on. That show was on at some point every day for the next 3 months.
Well, you had low expectations going in.
Somebody came in and was like, I'm going to watch TV. I watch Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Right? And you'd walk in and like the show would be on the TV. It's hilarious.
I'm sure it's great.
The acting's phenomenal.
No, it's not.
The cinematography's beautiful.
It's on a beach.
It's not on a beach. It's on a boat.
It's on a boat. Who cares?
The story's great.
People hype up. I remember I had to sit through Titanic, and everyone was going crazy for Titanic. And what was the other one? A Few Good Men.
Yeah.
That was another one everyone hyped up. I remember sitting there going, what? Like, why do I care? And Moulin Rouge was another one.
That was horrible.
It was just like, everyone goes crazy for this. It's just like, this sucks. So I didn't bother seeing it because I don't like Johnny Depp. I don't care. Like, oh God.
But Johnny Depp isn't even the best part of that show.
No kidding.
Keira Knightley as Elizabeth Swann and what's
the Irish actor Stephen Ray was the bad guy or whatever.
Yeah. But the Legolas from what the heck's his name?
I know who you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. He plays Will Turner, and they're phenomenal. But it's the supporting cast around them. They're phenomenal. They're
sure
great.
It's funny. I'm sure it's very good. I couldn't get into I've been sucked into these. Got to see these movies every year, and it's like these are terrible movies.
Well, we're taking a break over Christmas. Our producer has better stuff to do.
Twas the night before. And Office Christmas Party.
Office Christmas Party is just unbelievable. That's a good one.
I was in Toronto. We had a launch party for when I was at a company in Toronto that was very similar to Office Christmas Party. And I watched it, and I'm killing myself. I put it on Facebook, and all the people I used to work with in Toronto are just coming down. I'm like, yeah, you're pretty much bang on. Like, it was.
I had a friend who, for about 5 years in a row, had to find a new job in January. And I said to him after about the fifth time, like, stop going to the Christmas party.
Or just have a ginger ale.
Yeah. But
anyway, we'll wrap up.
Die Hard. Christmas movie, not a Christmas movie.
Christmas movie,
yeah.
All in.
Right, perfect. Good.
We're good. Thumbs up for Wayne.
The original action Christmas movie First Blood. Setting Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And
Gremlins.
Gremlins, that's another one, yeah.
Yeah.
Barb likes What a Wonderful Life, but you can't find it anymore. That's usually it's on, like, cable show has it.
Yeah.
And now it's all the Hallmark stuff. So, yeah, we're having a fun time at home. So, yeah. All right, wrap up. That's it for us. When are we back next, Wayne? Are we off for the month of December?
4th.
Yeah, 4th of January.
Coming back into the new year. So,
Coming
Merry
back in the
Christmas, Happy New Year.
I'm at Disney for New Year's.
You're Disney for New Year's. I'm in my living room. We'll see you where we're always going to go.
Off topic.
All right.